Okay, so here's something fascinating. St. Louis is home to the largest Bosnian population outside of Bosnia and Herzegovina. That's about 70,000 people who've turned the city into a cultural hub.
That's incredible, and it makes you think about how communities adapt and thrive in new places. Let's dive into how this ties into today's stories.
Welcome to DeActa Daily Digest. I'm Joseph.
And I'm Juniper. Here are today's top stories.
Let's start with St. Louis's Bosnian community and their connection to the World Cup. This story is about so much more than soccer. It's about identity, resilience, and the way sports can bring people together. In the lead up to a warm-up match between Bosnia and Herzegovina and Panama, thousands of Bosnian Americans marched through the streets of St. Louis, waving their national colors. It was this incredible display of pride and unity.
What's so striking is how soccer became this bridge between their past and present. Many of these families arrived in the U.S. as refugees during the Bosnian War in the 1990s. And now they've built a thriving community in neighborhoods like Bevo Mill. It's not just about the game, it's about preserving their culture and celebrating how far they've come.
Exactly. Take Mirsad Smajic, for example. He moved to St. Louis in 1997 and now runs Bevo Cafe Lounge, which became a hub for the community during the World Cup. For the match between Bosnia and Herzegovina and the U.S., nearly 2,000 people packed into his restaurant. It wasn't just about watching the game, it was about being together and sharing that experience.
And then there's Elvir Kafejic, who fled Bosnia as a child and now serves as an assistant coach for St. Louis City 2. His story really captures the dual identity of this community. He said the atmosphere during the U.S.-Bosnia match was more celebratory than competitive. Families might have been divided in their loyalties, but there was this shared pride in both teams.
That's what makes this story so compelling. Even when the U.S. beat Bosnia 2-0, the mood was reflective rather than bitter. People were disappointed, sure, but they were also proud of both countries. Smajic summed it up perfectly when he said, "We are a little sad, but we are happy that the United States is going through."
And let's not forget the cultural impact beyond soccer. Restaurants like Barracks and Balkan Treat Box have become institutions in St. Louis. The fact that Balkan Treat Box's chef recently won a James Beard Award, that's a huge deal. It's a testament to how this community has not only preserved its culture, but also contributed to the broader fabric of the city.
It really is. This story isn't just about soccer, it's about identity, resilience, and the power of community. And speaking of soccer, let's talk about how people are actually watching these games. The streaming options for the World Cup this year are overwhelming. It's not just about turning on your TV anymore. There are so many platforms and packages to choose from.
Oh, absolutely. You've got Fox and FS1 for English language coverage, Telemundo and Universo for Spanish language broadcasts, and then a whole slew of streaming services like Fubo, Hulu plus Live TV, Peacock, and YouTube TV. It's a lot to keep track of, and the costs can really add up.
That's the thing. Some of these packages are ridiculously expensive. Hulu plus Live TV, for example, is around $90 a month if you want access to Fox and FS1. Even the more affordable options like Sling or Peacock can still add up if you're trying to watch every match.
But there are some free and low-cost alternatives out there, which is great for fans on a budget. FIFA Plus is streaming a selection of matches for free, and Tubi, which is Fox-owned, is also offering specific games at no cost. Plus, free trials from services like Fubo TV can give you access to a few matches without paying.
And then there's the VPN option, which is a game changer for a lot of people. By using a VPN, you can access broadcasts from other countries that might be streaming matches for free. The BBC iPlayer in the UK, for example, has offered free coverage in past tournaments. It's a clever workaround, though it does come with its own set of challenges.
It's definitely a creative solution, but it does make me wonder about the future of sports broadcasting. Are we moving toward a model where everything is behind a paywall, or will there always be these free or low-cost options? And what does that mean for the accessibility of global events like the World Cup?
That's a great question. On one hand, the commercialization of sports is only growing, and streaming platforms are a big part of that. But on the other hand, The World Cup is such a massive global event that it feels like it should be accessible to as many people as possible. It's a delicate balance.
It really is. And speaking of balance, let's talk about today's matches. The round of 32 continues with three exciting games: Spain versus Austria, Portugal versus Croatia, and Switzerland versus Algeria. Each of these matchups has its own unique storyline.
Spain versus Austria is particularly interesting. Spain has been rock solid defensively, not conceding a single goal in the group stage. But Austria's willingness to attack could make this a more open game than people expect. Alex Baena, who's been a standout for Spain, could be the key player to watch.
And then there's Portugal versus Croatia, which feels like it could go either way. Portugal has been steady but not particularly flashy, while Croatia has shown they can bounce back from adversity. Bruno Fernandes is someone to keep an eye on. His energy and creativity in midfield could make all the difference for Portugal.
Finally, we have Switzerland versus Algeria, which might be the most unpredictable of the three. Switzerland has been impressive, topping their group with some strong performances, but Algeria has shown they can score goals, even against tough opposition. Johan Manzambi has been a revelation for Switzerland. At just 20 years old, he's already making a huge impact.
It's going to be fascinating to see how these games unfold. The World Cup is always full of surprises, and today's matches are no exception. Whether it's a powerhouse like Spain or an underdog like Algeria, there's always a story to tell.
And that's what makes this tournament so special. It's not just about the games, it's about the fans, the communities, and the connections that are formed along the way. Whether you're in St. Louis, Toronto, or Los Angeles, the World Cup has this unique ability to bring people together.
Absolutely, it's about more than just soccer. It's about identity, culture, and celebration, and I can't wait to see what stories emerge as the tournament progresses.
Same here. Until next time.